somebody at our church made an announcement they wanted to start a Boy Scout troop. And I had kind of always wanted to be in Boy Scouts, but never had a chance when I was a kid. I grew up on a farm in southeast Iowa. All the farm boys belonged to 4-H. And so the only camping I did as a kid was sleeping in the cattle barn at the Lee County Fair in Donaldson, Iowa. Probably watching my son run his Eagle Scout project and managing it. I mean, he just took control like he'd been doing it 15 times and managed the boys, but they did what he told them to do, asked them to do and stuff. And there was, I want to guess, probably 15 scouts helping him out. So that was really probably, while I was really involved with the troop, that was probably my proudest moment, I guess. When I'm out there during summer camp doing any kind of work and seeing a couple hundred people out there, that's really the big payoff. And even some of the shooting sports weekends when there's several dozen kids out there enjoying the camp, I mean, and get out of town and get away from their video games and get to do some outdoor stuff like I used to enjoy as a kid, because like I said, I grew up on a farm and I used to go to our farm pond fishing all the time and stuff like that. And like I said, I kind of always wanted to be in Scouts as a kid and to see what it's done. My son and I got to enjoy a lot of time together in scouting, and but it really paid off, I think, for him too. Working at summer camp, he was on NYLT staff, and that really helped him grow. It helped him when he first interviewed for his first job up there. The guy that interviewed him wanted to talk about scouting and his Eagle Scout stuff as much as the job, really. At least that's what he said from his interview. So it really got him off to a good start for his career stand. I wish I had a crystal ball, but my vision, I guess, for scouting in the next 25 years is to hope it still grows and stuff like that. Even at my age, I'd rather be a participant in a sport or an activity than a spectator. And this is one way that parents and their kids can go do things together in the outdoors and side by side. Really, if you want to be involved, you can do the exact same thing your kid is doing and do it together, which very few other activities that I can think of allow you to do that. I don't think I have a favorite point to the Scout Law. I mean, I think they're all very important. I mean, hopefully the kids take the points of the Scout Law seriously, and that leads them in the right direction, I guess. It's very humbling to be a recipient of the Silver Beaver, because there's so many adults that I've looked up to in the past 27, 28 years that I've been in scouting, from Henry Sinclair, who was the first guy that taught this basic scout master class that I took back in 1997, to Mike Coleman and his staff at Wood Badge in 2000 when I took it, and all the wilderness engineers that I work with. So to be honored like this is, like I say, it's just very humbling. Well, besides my wife, who lets me go out to camp all the time, and because it's over 100-mile round trip going out to camp, I need to thank her. But there was a guy I knew long before I became involved in Scouts. I used to live in Burlington, Iowa, and I worked for a small company that was an electrical distributor. And there was a union electrician that would come in about every other Friday afternoon after he got off work, and he'd buy some stuff. And he'd go down to the local Boy Scout camp, which was Camp Eastman, and do some electrical repairs and stuff on the weekends and stuff. And I always just kind of admired that guy for doing that. And so here 40 years later, I'm kind of doing the same thing, but 45 years later, because he died of cancer in the mid-'80s and stuff like that. So anyway, probably nobody in this council knows of him or anything, but his name was Gary Swedenberg, and his nickname was Swede. So if there was anybody that I could talk to that I can't talk to, that'd probably be him. For all the volunteers, I mean, there's so many, I don't know how many volunteers there are in WD Boys Council, but it takes a lot to run this thing because I do my small part. But there's so many people that keep troops going and everything, and just to everybody that is involved and has been involved for a long time, they all need to be thanked for doing their part.